Yo guys, what is going on? JP is back from the video, and today we're going to be reacting to how Lee and Parents makes Worcestershire sauce using a 185-year-old recipe. So Worcestershire sauce is something that's definitely in the United States as well. I don't know if it's the same brand or company, but I've definitely heard of it. Never have tried it though, and a lot of people talk about it when putting it on food and stuff like that. Well, Brits at least. Anyways, we're gonna watch this. It's from the Food Insider. I love their channel. We've reacted to tons of videos from them. So yeah, if you're new here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, consider joining my Patreon, link in the description, and let's get right into this. That does not look very appetizing, but I'm sure it will be appetizing by the end. That looks terrible.
Hello, today we're in the West Midlands of England in Worcestershire, the home of Lee and Parents. We're going to see how they make their famous Worcestershire sauce.
Hold on, before this starts, comment down below if you like Worcestershire sauce and how often you eat it, if you do, or how often you put it on your food.
Today we're going to find out about its history and origin, what makes it so popular here in the UK, and then of course we're going to taste it.
Sounds good.
Worcestershire sauce is a condiment made through a long-established maturing process with malt and spirit vinegar, molasses, red onions, garlic, anchovies, tamarind, and secret seasoning.
So those were anchovies.
The sauce can be enjoyed in a variety of ways, used to complement steaks, burgers, cocktails such as a Bloody Mary, and a British favorite, cheese on toast. But how did this famous sauce come into existence here in the West Midlands?
So Lee and Parents is steeped in over 180 years of history. You know, the story starts in 1835 with Lord Sandys, who was reputedly a nobleman of this county, and he'd been travelling in the Far East and had picked up this recipe for a sauce, and he loved it so much he brought it back to Worcester and wanted it made up. He turned to a couple of entrepreneur chemists, Mr. Lee and Mr. Parents, who owned a chemist shop in the centre of Worcester in Broad Street. So he gave them the recipe. Mr. Lee and Mr. Parents got the ingredients from around the world and made up the sauce. And you know what? It tasted awful. Lord Sandys never returned. And Mr. Lee and Mr. Parents put this mixture in the basement of their chemist shop and didn't return to it until a couple of years afterwards, when they tried it and it had matured into this wonderful elixir, and so started the kind of global fame of Lee and Parents into what it is today.
That's interesting. They were probably so mad when they first tried it. They were probably so mad that we did all that just for it to be garbage.
Into what it is today.
Gotta age it though, gotta age it.
After discovering their newfound popular sauce, the pair began selling it from their Broad Street chemist, which was quickly becoming popular with locals in the area. Lee and Parents then relocated to a new factory in Worcester in 1897, where the sauce is still made today. Depending on your region, it will either be packaged in the iconic orange label or wrapped in a beige paper wrapper.
I don't think I've seen Lee and Parents before then.
So at the site here in Worcester, we do mainly Lee and Parents production in glass bottles. 70–80% of what we do is Lee and Parents, so quite a lot of volume. And also we'll produce around about 43 million bottles a year. So depending on the bottle size that we're running at the time, we can run anything from 2.5 tons an hour up to 5 and 6 tons per hour in terms of production sauce.
Sheesh.
Paul escorted us around the factory, showing us the making process. We started in the basement, where hundreds of barrels sit quietly maturing the Worcestershire sauce ingredients, just like it did over 100 years ago. Paul starts by showing us one of the 3 main ingredients that go into Lee and Parents sauce: whole red onions.
So we got some red onions here that have been pickling for around about 9 to 10 months, and we've still got the whole red skin onion. which we noticed, but it's changed from being a very hard fruit, even though it's keeping its colour, to being a little bit mushy, and it's the process of breaking down the vegetable that creates this lovely juice that comes out that will give us that lovely flavour.
The same process is also done with whole garlic cloves, which also sit in a barrel of malt vinegar to pickle for 18 months.
It's a long time. They must have a lot of storage.
But one of the most interesting ingredients sitting in these barrels are anchovies, and there
That's
are
what it
lots of
was.
them. The fish, which are captured and sent from Spain, age in 200 kilograms of salt for 2 years, which help bring out the base flavor for the sauce. After the ingredients have finished maturing, they then go to the making house, where they are mixed together. The garlic, onions, anchovies and salt are added into this 5,000 liter tank. It then goes to the maturation storage area, where the ingredients are transferred and held in a larger 30,000 liter tank for a minimum of 6 weeks, adding more ingredients, including their secret spices, further enhancing the maturing process. Once complete, the sauce then goes to the final stage where it gets pasteurized. The sauce first goes through this holding tank before heading to the heat exchanger, which preheats the sauce for around 2 minutes, then cools it again before sending it to bottling. It's finally time to try the Worcestershire sauce. One thing to keep in mind is that this sauce is basically everything that I hate. I'm not a big fan of vinegar, anchovies, garlic, onions, and all these strong flavors. I think the winning point in here is that you don't taste the fish. I could never tell that there is fish in here. I can taste the vinegar and the garlic and the onions. You know, like if you compare this to like the standard vinegar that you have on the market, this will taste more like a balsamic vinegar because it has some sweet notes. I have made a very sad looking cheese on toast. So what we've done here is we put a little bit of the Liam Parents sauce just on top of the cheese before put this onto the grill. Oh yeah, there is sauce in here.
Doesn't
I
like
think
it.
this one is a very good option. The sauce actually elevates
No, she doesn't.
it. So overall, not for me, but
There we go.
it's still a great sauce.
What? I think that was a paid promotion, bro. She was like, you could see her wince as she tried it, and then she was like, it's a great sauce. At least be honest. All right, I need to try this. Honestly, though, I feel like I wouldn't like it either because those aren't my favorite things. Like, I've never even tried anchovies, honestly. But vinegary things are just not my favorite. But anyways, that was still a really interesting video. They definitely produce a lot. I did not realize how popular this sauce was. So, like I said, comment down below if you are a fan of Worcester sauce, and if you are, what types of food do you put it on, and how often do you use the sauce? But that, I'm going to catch you all in the next video.